We run, we run.
Yeah, you're good.
We run, we run.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Royal Download. Welcome to the new segment, the new style, the new podcast, the Royal Download. We're happy to be with you, Tristan Fleur,
AJ Brisbane,
Nathan Gergen,
David Desplinter,
Connor Kelly.
and we have a bunch of new segments to talk about, so let's go ahead and get into it. First of all is our first new segment, the Wheel of Nathan, also known as Nathan's Wheel. We have a beautiful wheel that has tons of different topics that Nathan's going to go ahead and spin and we're going to talk about. So let's talk about maybe one or two of them, just looking, seeing what's on the wheel. See Goodell, Rosen, Dolphins, the Giants. Let's go ahead and spin, Nate.
Oh, we're landing on Goodell. Goody.
Roger Goodell. So, Nathan, you're going to go ahead and talk about Roger Goodell for 1 minute. 1 minute is on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
Okay, I don't know how this guy screws up every single year. He is a horrible, genuinely horrible human being. I could not think of a worse person to run America's league, America's game, football, than that pig-faced, bloated Goodell. I swear to God, he screws up every single year. That Antonio Brown stuff this year should have been shut out almost immediately. The helmet grievances, they should have filed suspensions from the league. They should have fined him. They should have done more. And then, you see players with, these minor offenses getting, season-long suspensions, and then you see people like Ray Rice 5 seasons ago and Antonio Brown now facing no consequences. So, I'm just asking for a little consistency. That's all I'm asking for. All right.
And that's time. All right, beautiful 1 minute. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next segment here on the podcast, and that is bold predictions. So with bold predictions, we're going to go ahead and say one bold prediction we have for this week in sports. Connor, you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yes, I do. So the single-game NFL rushing record is held by Adrian Peterson at 296. I believe Ezekiel Elliott breaks that record Sunday night in the Superdome. I believe he runs for 315 yards in a Cowboys rout.
What about the Saints defense makes you think that Zeke's just going to go off?
It's just the stars are aligning for the Cowboys this year.
It just has a feeling.
They just got a
the stars.
The stars are aligning.
Because,
yeah.
Logo's star. Yep. David, bold prediction.
So I'm going to stick with the same game, but on the other side, I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to have maybe not a blowout game, but he's going to lead the Saints over the Cowboys.
All right, so the Saints over the Cowboys. That's a game I think a lot of us expected them to lose because Breeze is out. If Breeze was in this game, this would be a fantastic game.
Yeah, I think Bridgewater is going to have the same what's it called? The same, not skill, but he's going to help him out.
You think he can be a starter in the NFL?
I know that the Saints have pretty much told him why he stayed with the Saints was because they told him once Breeze is done that he's going to be the one to step up. So I think that he'll have a chance after Breeze is retired.
Nathan?
All right, well, my bold prediction this week actually is in college football.
Oh, college football.
Because there's a very interesting matchup that I think a lot of people are writing out. I think Ole Miss gets the win in Tuscaloosa against Alabama.
Oh, maybe the boldest prediction so far.
28-25.
Same Ole Miss team that lost to Memphis week 1.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a bold prediction. You got to go big or go home, man.
Wow. I'm honestly kind of speechless after that. AJ?
35-point
underdogs. You really think Jerry Jeudy and Najee Harris and Tua, they're just not going to be able to
It could happen,
Ole Miss?
man. Ole Miss seems to be a thorn in Alabama's side at times.
All right. Let's go ahead and go to AJ.
So might not be as bold as the others, but I'm going to go with Josh Allen has the game of his career. Maybe throw for 400 yards, a few touchdowns, some running touchdowns, but the Bills still lose. But Josh Allen makes his case as one of the top QBs right now.
Well, that's interesting. He's kind of been a rushing threat so far throughout his career, and he's been able to throw the ball decently well. He's a great fantasy quarterback. I have him in fantasy. He's great. But that's an interesting bold prediction. My bold prediction is that the Bears and Vikings will score a combined 14 points in their game. Two defensive teams, two offenses that have looked shaky at times. I feel like it'll be a ground and pound game. I think David Montgomery and Dalvin Cook will both rush for over 100 yards, but I think it will be a 14 points combined between the two teams. I think it's going to be a 10-3. At the most, it's 14. Like 10-3, something like that. That will be the points margin for the game. All right, let's move on to another new segment, and that is called Tristan's Trash. It's pretty much where I go ahead for 90 seconds, and I talk about whenever I want to. I get to trash something. And I'm not necessarily trashing a team this week. I'm trashing fans. I'm trashing the fans that do not give enough respect to backup quarterbacks. I'm going to go ahead and give you some stats here. Here are the backup quarterbacks in the NFL right now. We have a backup quarterback starting in most of the teams, not in most, but in about a quarter of the teams in the NFL currently. Here are how they have done so far. Gardner Minshew for the Jacksonville Jaguars, the legend. 692 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. That's phenomenal. Teddy Bridgewater, as Dave was talking about for New Orleans, 342 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Kyle Allen, Carolina quarterback, 261 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Mason Rudolph, 286 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks in Pittsburgh. Daniel Jones for the Giants, 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. What is going on, fans? Why are you not supporting these backup quarterbacks? These guys can play, and you guys aren't giving them the light of day. These backup quarterbacks are playing better than most of the starters in the NFL right now, so why don't you give them the respect? That is my trash for the week. All right, moving on to the next part. All right, so
These transitions are so clean.
let's go to lock and upset. So, who wants to start?
I'll start. I got my lock of the week. ESPN has the Broncos supposed to win by 3 points. I think that is an absolute lock. I do not see Gardner Minshew leading them into Mile High and coming away with a win.
Even after what I just said about
Yes,
Gardner Minshew?
absolutely not.
Oh,
And then
hurts.
my upset will be the Vikings traveling to Soldier Field Sunday at 4:25. The ESPN has the Bears as supposed to win by 2 points, and I have the Vikings winning that game.
Any particular reason for that, or just
The Bears' offense is terrible.
Yeah.
fair? David.
All right, so my lock for the week, I have the Texans over the Panthers. Even after you also talked about backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, what is it with these backup quarterbacks? You guys are the biggest offenders of this.
Well, Texans. I feel like Texans offense have really shown that they're capable of putting up a lot of points, and I don't think that the Panthers defense will be able to handle it. And then my upset of the week. It's a small upset, but I'm staying with Teddy Bridgewater. I think the Saints are going to beat the Cowboys.
Nathan.
All right, for Kansas City, Detroit, I see no way Kansas City comes out of this game with a loss. Detroit's been playing okay, obviously.
They're
shown
undefeated.
Technically.
Technically, they're undefeated. Even though they have a tie, they're undefeated.
They seem to, barely get by in those wins, and Kansas City's offense is just so dominant. They're my lock. However, Arizona's got a home game against Seattle. And I think this receiving core is coming together somewhat nicely. I think Kyler Murray's finally being able to, get used to his surroundings, scramble out of the pockets. I think if Arizona plays perfect, they could get it done over Seattle on
Do
Sunday.
you think Cliff Kingsbury can call that good of a game? He's going to have to call a great game.
He's going to have to call a great game, but if the Seahawks played like they did against Bridgewater and the Saints last week, and Arizona, steps it up another level, who knows?
AJ?
For my lock, I'm going to go with the Chargers over the Dolphins. The Dolphins, they're just not going to win. 0-3, and that number could just keep going up. I got the Chargers. And then my ups of the week, I also am going to go with the Cardinals over the Seahawks. I think Kyler Murray is going to have his first breakout game in the league, and he's going to take down the 2-1 Seahawks for his first victory.
Well, for my lock, I'm going the complete opposite of Nathan and AJ. I have the Seahawks over the Cardinals. I don't feel like they're gonna lose this game. Their defense is really good. Their offense is too good not to go ahead and take it. I feel like Russell Wilson will just have an amazing day, and we'll go ahead and defeat the Cardinals. And then my upset of the week, this is probably the biggest upset we've had so far. The Buffalo Bills are at home this week against the 3-0 New England Patriots, a clash of two 3-0 teams. And I believe the Bills Mafia, the pride of Buffalo, New York, the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, will beat New England Patriots, the hoodie, and Tom Brady. They will beat the Patriots. They're going to mark my words this week. The Bills are going to beat the Patriots.
I wasn't
Let's
even saying.
go!
Josh Allen, I'm telling you.
Listen,
Stud.
I wasn't even saying mark my words for Ole Miss. Like, okay, that's pretty out there for the upset.
Which
Look,
upset was
it's
bigger,
go big or go home, guys. I'm gonna start getting ridiculous on this with my upset predictions, and I'm excited for what it's gonna be in the future. So make sure to stay tuned for that in future episodes. But let's go ahead and go to our last segment of the day. Zach's Zinger, our wonderful producer, camera guy, director extraordinaire, Zach Vance, has a question for us, a trivia question, and we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get the right answer. So Zach, what is your trivia question?
All right. So how many cows? I'll give you four. I'll give you four options. How many cows do you think it takes to produce a season's amount of NFL registered footballs? 5, 100, 300, or 2,000? Tristan.
This is a good question.
This is a very
I'm gonna go with 100 cows.
What was the third option?
300.
300.
I'm gonna go 300.
I think I'm also gonna go 300.
I'm gonna go 300 as well.
Man, I'll go 300 as well. Actually, no. I'll go 5. It's got to be something weird.
Zach, what's the answer?
I don't think there's a non-weird answer to that, but it was 300.
300 cows. That's a lot.
That's a lot of leather.
That's a lot of leather to make footballs, and we are happy for those cows because we get a great sport out of it. So that's all we have for this episode. Like, we want to thank the cows for making the footballs. We want to thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Make sure to check back on the Royal Download, wherever podcasts are found, and right here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to have a great day. And this is Tristan Fleur for the Royal Download crew signing out.
Man,
You're good.
Ole Miss, Alabama.
If Alabama
The
doesn't
Buffalo
win,
28-7.
Let's go!
Ole Miss. Let's bring back Eli Manning.